I got this question. I actually want to answer it now about basically how I talk about having BPD and other mental health issues. So her question is, how does that affect my and Theo's relationship? And you know what? I want to get Theo for this. I can give my side. Basically, I think that patience is a huge thing. Theo has a lot of patience. Sometimes I test that and it's not something I'm always proud of. Like, I don't do it on purpose. Like, it's just that like my mental health issues and what that brings out of me can sometimes test his patience. And I feel bad about it afterward. I don't like always feel bad about it in the moment because I have borderline. I don't like using my borderline as an excuse for things, but you know, it's a reason for certain behaviors I have. And sometimes when I'm really angry in a moment and I say something fucked up, I don't feel bad about it in the moment. And that's just the reality. And I feel like horrible saying that out loud, but it's the reality of having borderline, I think. And you know, I do feel horrible about it afterward and I apologize, but in the moment it's hard for me to feel bad about it. I just think that Theo has a lot of patience and I am constantly trying to work on myself. It's really hard sometimes when I don't have the motivation to. My motivation really ebbs and flows. It is constantly like this. Like my moods. My moods are constantly like this. And it's really frustrating sometimes, but sometimes Theo needs to like accept that there's not much he can do about certain things, but he needs to be as supportive and comforting as possible, and he understands all of that. Sometimes he doesn't always know how to approach certain situations, and I don't blame him for that because it's just like nobody would know how to deal with this unless you're like super experienced with it. But over the years that Theo and I have been together, he's learned a lot about how to deal with me. We still have some communication issues, and that was like another thing on my list, was to work on our communication issues. But I think that overall we balance each other out well, and he's learned a lot about how to deal with me and how to manage my mental health issues. He reminds me to take my pills. He makes sure I take my pills. He, you know, comforts me when I'm not feeling well, and he makes me food when I don't want to eat. He just kind of makes it and stuff like that. It's just like small things like that that are really effective.
It's just, you need a lot of reinsurance.
I do need a lot of validation and reassurance. That's true. That's another big thing that I missed. Covered about everything?
Yeah.